Let's talk now to Fleur Hassan Nahoum, Israeli Foreign Ministry Special Envoy and former Deputy Mayor of Jerusalem. There's talk of a possible ceasefire on the cards between Israel and Hamas. Let's see what the latest is. Fleur, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike.
Thanks very much for joining us. I haven't seen much of the detail on this. What can you tell us?
Well, nobody's seen the details, but we're talking about 10 hostages, 10 of the living hostages, in exchange for 60 days ceasefire. I don't understand why we're talking about only half the hostages when there's 20 at least who are alive. But there you have it. You know, we're negotiating, whether we like it or not, with a genocidal terrorist group.
Yeah, I know.
Who is intent on destroying our country.
Yes, and I mean, whenever these things happen, I mean, the last time there was a ceasefire, they made such a terrible kind of, you know, macabre exhibition, didn't they, of handing the hostages over? Yeah, it was awful.
Do you remember those scenes?
It was just horrific, awful. Wasn't it? And
horrific.
I imagine that's what they would do again, and which would of course be awful and dreadful for people to watch.
Absolutely, Mike, but it doesn't even matter as long as we were getting the hostages alive, honestly. It's about playing that game, but it just shows you who they are when you see their people on the streets cheering, when they see them cheering for the 2 coffins of babies that were brutally murdered. You just think, what type of society is there? But the good news is, Mike, that all of this week, when the whole world, including the UK and Keir Starmer, was attacking Israel for the humanitarian aid crisis, it seems that we've managed to crack the code of trying to bypass Hamas with humanitarian aid. And this is really the point that Israel was trying to get to. We want to get to the point where Hamas are not the only people ruling in Gaza, the people feeding the Gazans. So the Gazans can see something else. They've been under the chokehold of Hamas for almost 20 years. Right. And this week, for the first time, the food that they received was not in the hands of Hamas. And that is a very important pivot that we managed to do, and we did it against all of the condemnations of countries like the UK, Canada, and France.
Well, I mean, I was appalled by that statement that Keir Starmer put out, quite frankly, and when Hamas said that they were very pleased with it, that pretty much tells you all you need to know, doesn't it?
Well, there you go. When a terrorist, genocidal, jihadi group is congratulating you, you know where you are in history.
Yeah, absolutely right. And all of those stories as well that were coming out of, you know, 28,000 babies are going to die in the next 2 days. And I mean, the propaganda levels that people fall for, I mean, we've spoken about this before. I find it staggering, really, that we have to really have people who call themselves journalists who write this rubbish.
I'm not sure if it's an agenda or it's laziness. People just take a headline. They don't even do the basic due diligence. They put it out, and what they don't seem to understand, or if they do, then we're in worse shape than we thought, is that every time they put out a libel against Israel, it becomes dangerous for Jews all around the world. The libel quickly becomes a blood libel. And that libel that went all around the world created so much hatred. And look what we saw last week in Washington. 2 Israeli staff, embassy staff members, 2 young, wonderful people that were just about to get engaged, dead. And so these libels, the fact that the journalists are not doing their jobs, they're just putting out these terribly damaging things, it actually has an effect in real time for Jewish communities all around the world.
Yeah, it really does. It needs to stop. Fleur, good to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike.
Fleur Hassan Nahoum, Israel's Foreign Ministry Special Envoy, former Deputy Mayor of Jerusalem.